Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about working with unstructured data. So as you can tell from this spreadsheet, you see that we have the commission report here, section 2 here, but we're wanting this data. Name, address, city, state, zip. Because you know when you're working with database or anything like that, you're working with titles and fields. So the best way to work, especially if you have multiple reports, and they all show up like this and it's still unstructured. The best technique that I found was first you want to link that document to the database. That's the first thing. So in order to do a link, you have to first do import Excel and actually pick your file, select your file. And then down here, link to the data source, creating a link table. Click OK and just accept the defaults. It's okay that right now the sheet 1, the commission report field is the first row that contains your titles. That's fine because you're going to fix that later. So you click next, first row contains, next, and you can even just call it sheet 1, data 1, whatever. As you can tell, it finished linking, so that's fine. So now that original sheet is linked inside the database. And when you have unstructured data, you have the commission report, the section 2, you see how all of these are F2, F3, F4. It's not even recognizing what the actual field is. So the next thing we want to do is create a table to reference. So let's go back and pull the unstructured and let's just use this. So right now I'm just copying this data over. Going back to the database. And in here, just pasting the information. So, and to test it out, I'm going to go ahead and delete this data here. But I'm going to keep all of the titles. I'm going to hit save. Table 1 is fine. And actually in the table 1, the name somehow was missed, so I'm just going to go ahead and insert rows and add name here. Automatically comes up as text, which is fine. Save yes. So now we have our linked data here and a table with titles here. So then I want to create an append. And this is a situation where an append query would work. So you want to select first your original sheet. So this is sheet 1, which is the linked data. And you want to copy all of this down. To your database here. And then you want to use this append. So once you use an append, it tells you to select what table you want to append it to. And we want to append it to table 1. So you click OK. So from here, remember that the commission report showed up as a title, F2, F3, F4. So in here, we want to say the criteria is null because we don't want to pull up the commission report. F2, we want to say the same thing because I think that one had something called section. So we're not looking for any data, so we say is null. And for this, it has an append to. So we say append to name, because name was F3. And it just goes in order. Name, address, city, state, zip, company, and phone number. Now, there's one more thing you need to do here, because if you just do this append like this, it's going to show up with name, address, city, state in your field name. So because all of this shares the same row, all we have to do is say for name to not equal the title name. So once you do that, you want to run it. You're about to append 4 rows, yes. Close it, and you can name this one append to table. That's fine. So when we open up the table, now we see the fields: name, address, city, state, zip. So because this is a linked field, the original data can be updated, and it's all linked, and every time you run the append, it's just going to keep appending to the table. So it's all structured and everything's already set for you. If you have different reports and they're the same type of structure, then you can have the original sheet unstructured data in another folder and just rename that folder to the original, and that way it'll take the place of what's in the database. And if you're accumulating records on a table, you want to keep appending, and that's one of the uses for an append table. Okay, as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and visit us on the web at www.graycomconsulting.com. Thanks.